Hello everyone. So today let's improve our NPC character further. Right. So the first part actually we covered these AI controllers, NPC blackboard, behavior trees, stuff like that. And currently we have this setup where actually we can move our character to a specific location after waiting like 3 seconds or something like that. Right. Actually, now the AI movement basic logics are done. It is moving properly and the navigation is working also. But as you can see here, the character is sort of sliding through the ground, right? It is not actually moving, right? It is moving, but the respective animation will be will not played actually, right? It's not played actually. So actually the fix is quite simple. Simply you can do that by going to our NPC base and select this character movement component and search for use acceleration. So here you can see under nav movement category we have this use acceleration for path option. So simply tick this thing, compile and save, and let's play it again. Okay, you can see now the character's animation is being played, right? Right. So that issue has been resolved. Now I'm sort of interested to move our character to random locations, right? So instead of moving to this specific static location at once, let's see how we can move our NPC multiple times uh, towards some random location by waiting some random time as well. Okay, so in order to do that, actually we have to have a way to determine a random reachable target location in our navigation radius or navigatable area. So to do that, I think we can create the behavior tree task to get some random location on the level. Right. So I'll go to my AI folder and create a new folder called tasks. Right. So I'll organize all of my behavior tree tasks here. Right. And then I'll go to behavior tree NPC and select for this new task option, and it will create this one for you, and select the task folder, and I'll call this one as btt get random location. Okay, now let's use the event called receive execute AI, right? So this is the function or the event is being called when this task is being given authority by this behavior tree, right? So this function, whatever this function execute, will be initialized within this task, and we can simply pass it to the behavior tree and use it to drive our behaviors, right? Right. So here now I want to detect a random location. So how to do that? Here. So do that. Yeah, I'll create a new function called get random location, and I'll make it as a pure function. Right. and as the input we can give the pawn reference, which is the type of pawn, and as the output I can return the location as a vector, and let's return the successive state as well, so we can actually determine whether we found a valid location or not. Right? This one should be a boolean. Okay. Right. And then let's get the actor location like this, and I'll get a random reachable point in radius, right? So for now I'll just hard code this random reachable point logic, and later on actually we can use our navigation bound volumes to get a proper location, but for now I think this would be fine. Okay, and then as the radius I'll promote it to a variable called radius, and let's give it 1,000 radius, right? So what it basically does, it tries to find a random location from its own actor location alongside this level, right? Okay. So it will give some sort of a random location, and I'll simply return these ones for now. Later on actually we can further improve this one, right? Okay, then let's go to the event graph and use this function, and as the pawn it should be the control pawn, and if this one is detected random reachable location properly, then we can promote this to a variable called location, right? I'll make this as like target location, right? And then similarly what we have been done at the AI controller, we should have a way to actually tell or initialize this move to location, right? So I'll go to this behavior tree task again, and instead of hard coding like this, I'll use a blackboard key selector, right? So we can actually take this stuff at our blackboard level or behavior tree level. So I'll add a new key called move to location, and this is the type of blackboard key select, and make sure to mark it as visible or instant editable so that it will be visible on the behavior tree, right? Now I'll get this blackboard key selector and let's set blackboard value as a vector, right? So this vector is basically this target location which we have been founded as a random location here, and if this one is executed successfully, we can simply return a finished execution. So if we found a location properly, it is success. If we haven't found the location properly, it is unsuccess. Okay, compile and save. Now let's go to our behavior tree, and now I can select that task here, right? So whenever you drag your pin from a sequence, you can see under the task there are like default tasks given by the Unreal Engine, Plus this is our customized task, which is btt get random location. So I'll select that one, and in the default category, you can see now we have the access to that specific Blackboard key, which is move to location, right? So I can simply select the move to location as move to location vector, which we have used at our Blackboard, and then it will initialize that variable, and once it has been finished, it will simply try to move to this specific location by using that variable value, right? Okay, so let's play test and see whether it's working properly. Maybe I'll open it's like this so you can see how it works at runtime. Right, so you can see actually the character is moving to a random location and it finds a random location as well. Right, so you can actually debug and see how this works on runtime. All you have to do is sort of click the back tick key, not the back tick actually, quad key on your level, and you can see actually how that navigation works, right? So you can see like it's finding a location within the navigatable radius and it moves to that specific position, right? But actually currently only the range is visualizing, not the exact location to be moved. So maybe let's set a debug sphere for our get random location function. So it will be like sort of visualizing where it's going to be moved, right? So inside this function I'll create a new function called debug target location, and what this simply does is we can draw a debug sphere, right? So as the center I will use the location. At the radius I think 100 would be fine, segments 12, maybe 10, and the line color maybe I'll mark it as yellowish, and the duration may be like 3 seconds, and the thickness maybe like 10, right? And then I'll go to this one, and whenever we found a target location I'll use this function and I'll attach this target location as the place where it's need to draw that specific sphere. Plus maybe we can call it after this one finishes execution, right? And let's see. Yeah, I can see actually the debug sphere has been drawn, but its size is quite large. Maybe I'll reduce the radius as 20 and the thickness as 1. Let's see it again. Right, now it is fine. Right, plus I think additionally we should be able to toggle this debugging time to time, because sometimes like when we are debugging it would be nice to see this debug pointers, and sometimes when you need to check the gameplay experience, then maybe we need to disable those debugs. So instead of like manually connecting this pin and unpin this pin like that, maybe we can create a variable to quickly select our debugging procedures, right? So it will be like easy for us when we later on do our debugging process. So I'll add a new variable called debug target location. I can't use that one because this function name is somewhat similar. So I'll change its name called maybe row debug target location, right? And this should be a boolean, and make sure to mark it as instant editable, so it will be visualized on the behavior tree, right? So whenever we require to toggle our debug target location, we don't need to come back to our behavior tree task. Instead, we can simply go to our behavior tree and do those customizations, right? And here let's use this one. So if we enable debug target location, then only we are going to print this or draw this debug sphere, right? So if you go to the behavior tree, now you can see there is another field called debug target location. You can see on the default category, and currently it is false, right? So let's mark it as true, and let's play this. So here now you can see actually the SPI is printing, and let's see if I disable that one, and you can see there is no sphere, it's been printed, right? Plus let's go to the NPC base, and as the locomotion system rotation mode, we have strafing. What if we use forward facing instead? Okay, yeah, I think the forward facing look much more nice instead of having strafing. Otherwise, I have seen some sort of foot sliding is there for the NPC characters, right? So let's use forward facing. It works properly. Yeah. So I think that's how we can move our NPC character to some random locations. But yeah, we can further improve this stuff, like that is consuming the navigatable radius instead of simply following a random point. Or we can actually create a new behavior tree task to find out the move to target locations, and to drive our pawn character towards that location, things like that. But yeah, we'll cover those stuff in the upcoming sessions, and I'll see you there. Thank you.